Oh, hell yeah. So I've been doing some physics, and we found out something, how a back works, you know what I mean? So if we do a corner on a back, and your back's like vertical, well, you know, physics says anytime you do like a radius with some velocity, you get some centrifugal force that wants to just like throw everything to the outside, you know what I mean? If you're on the equator spinning around the earth, you want to get flung off. You'll be 2 pounds less. Anyway, so on a back, same thing. You make a corner on the back, and this is cool because your wheels are touching the ground, they ain't going nowhere. So when you do make a corner, all the mass of you and the back is going to get thrown to the outside. So if you do a corner with your back vertical, you're just going to tip over. So, you know, so that is why we do a leaning corner. And so what I'm going to show in just a little demonstration is that it's almost impossible to lean out this way and then turn the bike the other direction. Let's do it. All right, so I'm going to turn towards this way and I'm going to try to steer the other way. It's just impossible. How about I'll do this way? I'm going to turn this way and then try to steer the other direction. You just can't do it. You know what I mean? The only way you can do it is this: if you really, you know, cantilever the back. We'll do that once more. So I want to lean this way. Alright, I want the back to lean that way. So the back's leaning this way and I'm steering the other direction. Alright, so hell yeah. So how does this apply to like bikes and motorcycles? Is, well, if you're like a motorcyclist and you're doing a tighter turn, you have to lean quite a bit. Now the leaning is just the natural part, and here's why. Because if the bike's vertical and you do a corner, you're just going to get thrown to the other side. Let's try that actually. I'm just going to do kind of a fast, I'm going to try to stay totally upright. Ooh, you can't even turn trying to keep the bike upright. Because if I stay upright and I want to turn this way, I'm just going to get thrown off the bike that way. Okay. So this really introduces the concept of like motorcyclists. Like, why do they get speed wobble and why do they just explode off the front of the bike? Well, two things going on. One is that it should be now obvious that when we make a turn, the bike wants to get thrown to the outside. Well, also when we make a turn, we lean the bike over. So not only is the bike wanting to go that way, it's also lifting the bike up off the ground. So that's the reason why you get a lifting force when you turn a bike. And those motorcyclists, I mean, they'll be like hella down here, and at maybe this radius of curvature, with a velocity. Well, guess what? If they increase their radius, they just really increase their centrifugal force. And so the way to get out of a turn will be to, turn just a little bit more, increase that centrifugal force. And also there's definitely friction involved too, you know what I mean? If you bite your wheel into the ground, like at first I just thought it was all just friction, you know what I mean? Where if you just like bite your wheel into the ground, the bike's gonna high side. Like I do rafting and you're always like, you know what I mean? You want to prevent that. But what's happening is that you're tightening your radius, you're increasing your centrifugal force, and then you can get, max lift. So anytime you're doing like a tight corner, turn a little bit more and pop out of it. Let's do that one. I don't know if that's going to be good for camera. But anyway, so that just shows you, it's just like, whoa, you can be, one, it should be obvious that you need to lean a bike over, and if you're not leaned far enough over, well, guess what? You're gonna crash that way. You know what I mean? You're actually gonna fly over the handlebars. So actually lower. That's why those motorcyclists, they're going so fast, they gotta lean this thing over so far. Now, you know what I mean? Your wheels have to be locked to the ground, and a rolling wheel is stationary with the ground. That piece of rubber ain't moving, so you get static friction. You don't get kinetic friction. But anyway, so yeah, you can't lose that friction then. But yeah, the tighter the radius, the more upward force on on a motorcycle. Anyway, that's enough for this video. Holy Toledo. But thanks for joining me, and that's video.